Hey guys, we'll be starting in about 4 minutes. We are going to pick up at scalp and hair analysis and close it out today. So, congratulations. We're completing scalp and hair. I'm ready for all your questions. And welcome to class today. See you in a few. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We are at 10:10 mark. It's time to start our class today. We are living in scalp and hair analysis. This portion of the lesson today will probably be one of your most memorable lessons. You'll see these words, you'll see these terms, you'll see this terminology throughout your career. Okay. And so I want you to really take heed on what I would be giving you today. Also, take the initiative to continue to read in the ebook concerning scalp and hair analysis. As a cosmetologist, a beauty professional, there's always a conversation and an analysis before you're starting any service. Okay. A lot of times that we see, things that do shortcuts, and there's so many ways to do things that people tend to want to get it done fast or take the easy way out. But there's no easy way when you're dealing with someone's um hair and scalp. There is no way. You have to train your eyes. You got to have the knowledge. Okay, you got to have the knowledge of what you're looking at, what should be there, what's considered normal, what is considered not normal. All right. So it should be a very important aspect to you guys as well, because you are on the front line. Before any services are performed, we go through this. All right. And so, really, what happens, you get the intro training today, but as you get older, become a professional, more seasoned in what you do, you actually will continue to train your eye in every aspect, in every space. You become more knowledgeable. So that's called experience. Okay. And so, from basically what you know, what you've been taught, and your experience starts to shape you as a sought after beauty professional, even considered an expert in your field. Okay. So, we look at hair and scalp analysis. Here's a term, texture. We talked about this heavily yesterday. I just want to reiterate texture. Okay. Texture is defined as the uh, fine to coarseness of the hair cuticle. Okay. Texture is a broad category. Okay. Texture is a broad category. It has many individuals talk about texture training, texture education, texture manipulation, texture training, texture manipulation. So many things. But at the end of the day, um, texture needs to be defined as the fineness, the coarseness of the hair. And really, it comes down to fine, medium, or coarse hair. Okay, fine, medium, or coarse hair. Fine, medium, or coarse hair. When it comes to the cuticles, you have more cuticles on coarse hair, you have less cuticles on fine hair. All right. When it comes to fine hair, you may have a medulla. And when it comes to coarse hair, you're surely going to have a medulla. It's simply an empty pith, it's just a center of the hair shaft. All right. Fine hair, since it does not have a lot of cuticle, which means it needs to be highly sought to protect the hair, okay, and everything that's going on in the inside, which is the cortex. Processes are going to be really, really fast on fine hair, while same processes on coarse hair are going to be, or say, chemical processes. Uh, on coarse hair, those chemical processes are going to have to go through all of these cuticles. So the timing will be elongated when it comes to coarse hair. Okay. The biggest thing is you getting in there and you feeling it and you touching it. Okay. And so it's not casual anymore to ask people, can I touch your hair? But when they come into your salon and they sit down, you're going to, you're analyzing with your eyes and you're going to analyze what you see. Okay. What you see, and then you're going to touch it. When you touch it and rub it between your fingers, you can literally feel the coarseness of the hair and the fineness of the hair. Okay. And medium would be in the middle, what we consider normal. All right. And so you'll be able to characterize your clients from between those three. Yesterday, I talked about we're going to pick up at density and density is the amount of hair per square inch. All right, I want you to understand that the amount of hair per square inch. All right, what does that mean? If you look at the scalp and all the square inches on the scalp, density is going to tell us whether the density can be defined as fine, medium, or coarse. Also, not to be confused with texture. Texture is actually how the hair feels, but density is about how many hairs are in a square inch. All right. So let's begin to go here. You'll see this picture here. She's doing um, a pushback test to actually give the true density of the hair. Okay, so she's just taking the strand and just kind of pushing it up. And if it builds a cushion, okay, it's very dense. If it does not build a cushion and the hairs fall away, it is lightly dense. Okay, which means there are not a lot of hairs that can that can support a lot of pull on the hair. Density. So density defined as the amount of hair per square inch. So when your client comes in, one, you need to know the texture. Two, you need to know the density. Okay. Density can be defined as fine, medium, and coarse also. But many individuals use the term thick and thin. All right. Thick and thin. That's like, salon terms. But fine, medium, and coarse, you have to know the density. So if this is a square inch, this will be considered coarse density, okay, or thick density because of all the so many hairs that you have within an inch. All right. And an inch, if you look at your finger in the first line on your finger that separates your bones, that will be considered an inch. All right. So the amount of hair per square inch. So you have to figure out some people have a very coarse density, which means they got a lot of hair per square inch, which means they got a lot of hair for you to blow dry, a lot of hair for you to silk out. You can have a ponytail and you take it out the ponytail, their hair go flop and go all over their head. All right. Um, the one in the middle, number two, is a medium density. It's a little bit, it is not as crowded as the coarse density. Again, it's a medium, but it's amount of hairs per square inch. And that will be considered our average. And then we have the third one. You have fine density, and also called thin density. Okay, which means the person does not have a lot of hair per square inch. When you comb their hair, you can probably see the scalp. A person could have long length. That's what I was saying yesterday. They could have long hair, but they also can have thin density, fine density, which means the hair is long, but it's not a lot of hairs on the head. That's all. So somebody can have long hair, and long hair does not equal coarse texture or coarse density. They can have long hair, but they also can have fine, medium, or coarse density. When they have fine density, the hair pulls, you can say, pull it back into a ponytail. and it just lays there. It does not move. It's just very straight, lay there. It doesn't have, a lot of movement, a lot of fluff to it. It just lays there. Okay. So a person can have long length, but they also can have fine density. And fine density is this as well. This is where a lot of people get in trouble. A lot of stylists get in trouble because you try to give the client with low density, fine density, thin hair styles that are really appropriate for those individuals that have more hair. And so when you do that, you're having to cover up thin spots. You're having to manipulate the hair to make it look fuller. Okay. And they do have things in products like I know P likes to go to Cosmo Prof. They do have things like dry shampoos, and a lot of times dry shampoos or fillers, hair fillers, where you will part the hair and you will shake the fillers in to kind of give a camouflage. It'll give more thickness towards the scalp, the illusion of thickness towards the scalp. But and don't put oil on it. You put oil on it, it's going to separate the hair. So a lot of people who have fine density will pull away from oil because the hair would separate, and it would look really, really thin. And so you have to be careful with that as well. But learning the texture of someone's hair and also learning the density. You have high density, medium density, and low density. And low density is fine to thin, where you could literally see the scalp. And sometimes when you see someone braids and you notice that those braids are far apart, okay, there you can put two fingers, okay. It's an intro to a question about alopecia, but also that's telling you, oh, that density is low, okay. So it would not be a style for them, okay. If this cuts off because the battery is low, um, well, hold on one moment. I'm gonna go get a charger. Hold on one moment. We made it. So let's see what this looks like. Yeah. So right before my battery going off, we made it.